Yeah, we're back live. All right, welcome everyone to the Woodward Academy presenting the Shakespearean Sonnet Slam / Festival, William Shakespeare's 450th birthday bash. We have a special interlude today. Which is not on the program. Nonetheless, we have Miss Kathleen McManus, who will be doing a performance that she will explain to you shortly.
Good morning, everybody. Many years ago, I worked at Georgia Shakespeare. I was their education director, and I did tons and tons of Shakespeare projects and residencies, and I was even a Shakespeare performer briefly. And about 30 years ago, not quite 30 years ago, I was in a production called Hamlet the Musical, and I played Gertrude. And if you're familiar with the play Hamlet, you know that when Ophelia dies, Gertrude carries the news to Hamlet and a few of the other key players, and she does it in something called the Willow Speech. So this is an adaptation of the Willow Speech. It's called Appalachian Willow, a cappella song. So I'm getting ready to do that for you now, okay? There is a willow grows aslant the brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands did she make of crop feathers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a gossamer name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There, on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds, clamoring to hang and be a sliver broke. When down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread white and mermaid-like, a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches from old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and imbued onto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. McManus. Now she goes back to her iPad training. You just can't make this stuff up, people. All right, here we go. We're going to continue on with reading of our Shakespearean sonnets. We were a little bit behind from last period. All right, so we're going to go back and read sonnet number 49, and subbing for me will be Ms. Horder.
Sonnet 49. Against that time, if ever that time come, when I shall see thee frown on my defects, when as thy love hath cast his utmost sum, call to that audit by advised respects. Against that time when thou shalt strangely pass and scarcely greet me with the sun thine eye, when love converted from the thing it was, shall reasons find of settled gravity. Against that time do I ensconce me here within the knowledge of mine own desert, and this my hand against myself uprear, to guard the lawful reasons on thy part. To leave poor me thou hast the strength of laws, since why to love I can allege no cause.
Very good. All right, very good, Ms. Horder. Now, reading sonnet number 50, we have our very own Mr. Chris Myers. Give him a round of applause as he runs up to the podium to perform his sonnets. Shakespearean sonnet number 50. Also, while we have a moment, make sure that when you come up, we have a bust of Mr. William Shakespeare donated loaned to us by our own very own Coach Crook. When you come up, before you read your sonnet, give Mr. Shakespeare here his bust a little rub on top of his head like we do at the Apollo for good luck.
How heavy do I journey on the way, when what I seek my weary travels end. Doth teach that ease and that repose to say, thus far the miles are measured from thy friend. The beast that bears me, tired with my woe, plods dully on to bear that weight in me. As if by some instinct the wretch did know, his river loved not speed, being made from thee. The bloody spur cannot provoke him on, that sometimes anger thrusts into his hide, which heavily he answers with a groan, more sharp to me than spurring to his side. For that same groan doth put this in my mind, my grief lies onward and my joy behind.
Very good. All right, we are now back on schedule for the Shakespearean Sonnet Slam / Festival. Reading Sonnet 51, we have Sahil Patel. 52, Liliana Burgess. 53, Nikhil Mardekar. 54, Utkarsh Pandey. 55, Sam Lafar. 56, Miles Powell. 57, 58 will be done by our own Coach Crook. Yep, give him a pound in the head. Good luck.
Thus can my love excuse a slow offense of my dull bearer from thee I speed. From where thou art, why should I haste me thence, till I return, opposing no need? Oh, what excuse will my poor beast then find, when swift extremity can seem but slow? Then should I spur, thou mounted on the wind, in winged speed no motion shall I know. Then can no horse with my desire keep pace, therefore desire, a perfect love being made, shall neigh no dull flesh in his fiery race, but love, for love, thus shall excuse my jade. Since from thee going he went wilful slow, towards thee I'll run, and give him leave to go.
So am I as the rich, whose blessed key can bring him to his sweet locked-up treasure, the which he will not every hour survey, for blunting the fine points of seldom pleasure. Therefore a feast so solemn and so rare, since seldom coming in the long year set, like stones of worth they are thinly placed are, or capped in jewels in the carcanet. So it is the time to keep you at my chest, or as the wardrobe which the robe doth hide, to make some special instant special blessed, by unfolding his imprisoned pride. Blessed are you whose worthiness gives scope, being had to triumph, being lacked to hope.
Rub his head. Rub his head. Rub Shakespeare's head. Good luck. There you go.
What is your substance? Whereof are you made? That millions of strange shadows on you tend, since every one hath every one shade, and you but one can every shadow lend. Describe Adonis, and a counterfeit is poorly imitated after you. On Helen's cheek all art of beauty set, and you in Grecian tires are painted new. Speak of the spring and foison of the year, the one doth shadow of your beauty show, the other as your bounty doth appear. And you in every blessed shape we know, in all external grace you have some part, and you like none, none you, for constant heart.
Oh, how much more doth beauty beauteous seem, by that sweet ornament which truth doth give. The rose looks fair, but fair we it deem, for that sweet odor which doth in it live. The canker blooms have full as deep a dye as the perfumed tincture of the roses. Hang on such thorns and play as wantonly, when summer's breath their masked buds discloses. But for their virtue only is their show, they live unwooed and unrespected fade. Die to themselves, sweet roses do not sow. Of their sweet deaths are sweetest odors made. And so of you, beauteous and lovely youth, when that shall fade, my verse distills your truth.
Not marble nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme, but you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluttish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. 'Gainst death in all oblivious enmity shall you pace forth, your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity, that wear this world out to the ending doom. So, till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this, and dwell in lovers' eyes.
Sweet love, renew thy force, be it not said. Thy edge should be blunter be than appetite, which but today by feeling is allayed. Tomorrow sharpen in his former might, so love be thou, although today thou fill. Thy hungry eyes, even till they wink with fullness, tomorrow see again and do not kill. The spirit of love with a perpetual dullness. Let the sad interim like the ocean be, which parts the shore where two contracted new. Come daily to the banks, that when they see return of love, more blessed may be the view. As call it winter, which being full of care, makes summer's welcome thrice more wished, more rare.
All right, coming to the stage now, we have our very own Coach Crook, the co-sponsor of this Shakespearean event. He will perform 2 sonnets back-to-back. We will then have an interlude by our very own Woodward Academy string machine, and then Coach Crook will come back and do 2 more sonnets.
All right, Sonnet 57. Being your slave, what should I do but tend upon the hours and time of your desire? I have no precious time at all to spend, nor services to do till you require. Nor dare I child the world without an hour, whilst I, my sovereign, watch the clock for you, nor think the bitterness of absence sour when you have bid your servant once adieu. Nor dare I question with my jealous thought where you may be, or your affairs suppose, but, like a sad slave, stay and think of naught save where you are now happy you make those, and how happy you make those. So true a fool is love that in your will, though you do anything, he thinks no ill. Sonnet number 58. That God forbid that made me first your slave, I should in thought control your times of pleasure, or at your hand the account of hours to crave, being your vassal, bound to stay your leisure. Oh, let me suffer being at your or let me suffer being at your beck, the imprisoned absence of your liberty, and patience, tamed to sufferance, bide each check without accusing you of injury. But where you list, your charter is so strong that you yourself may privilege your time to what you will. To you it doth belong yourself to pardon of self-doing crime. I am to wait, though waiting so be hell. Not blame your pleasure, be it ill or be it well.
Coming back up to the sonnet stage, we have Coach Crook performing 2 more Shakespearean sonnets.
And once again, how nice. Very good job, String Machine. Thank you. Sonnet number 59. If there be nothing new but that which is hath been before, how are our brains beguiled, which, laboring for invention, bear amiss the second burthen of a former child? Oh, that record could with a backward look, even of 500 courses of the sun, show me your image in some antique book, since mind at first in character was done, that I might see what the old world could say to this composed wonder of your frame, whether we are mended or where better they, or whether revolution be the same. Oh, sure I am the wits of former days to subjects worse have given admiring praise. And sonnet number 60. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end, each changing place with that which goes before, in subsequent toil all forwards do contend. Nativity, once in the main of light, crawls to maturity, wherewith being crowned, crooked eclipses against his holy fight, and time that gave doth now his gift confound. Time doth transfix the flourish set on youth, and delves the parallels in beauty's brow, feeds on the rarities of nature's truth, and nothing stands but for his scythe to mow. And yet, to times in hope my verse shall stand, praising thy worth, despite time's cruel hand.
Thank you very much, Coach Crook. We now have, coming to the podium, we have Shakespearean sonnet number 61, recited by Ethan Rincon.
Is it thy will thy image should keep open my heavy eyelids to the weary night? Dost thou desire my slumber should be broken, while shadows like to thee do mock my sight? Is it thy spirit that thou sendest from thee, so far from home into my deeds to pry, to find out shames and idle hours in me, the scope and tenor of thy jealousy? Oh no, thy love, though much, is not so great. It is my love that keeps mine eye awake, mine own true love that doth my rest defeat, to play the watchman ever for thy sake. For thee watch I, whilst thou dost wake elsewhere, from me far off, with others all too near.
Thank you very much. Coming to the podium now, we have Shakespearean Sonnet number 62, performed by Kaylee Anderson.
Sin of self-love possesseth all mine eye and all my soul and all my every part. And for this sin there is no remedy. It is so grounded inward my heart. Methinks no face so gracious is as mine, no shape so true, no truth of such account. And for myself mine own worth do define, as I all other and all worth surmount. Will my glass show me myself indeed, beaten and chopped with tanned antiquity, mine own self quite contrary I read, self so self-loving were iniquity. 'Tis thee myself that for myself I praise, painting my age with beauty of thy days.
Coming to the podium now, we have Shakespearean Sonnet number 63, performed by Leslie Felwalk.
Against my love shall be as I am now, with time's injurious hand crushed and o'erworn, when hours have drained his blood and filled his brow with lines and wrinkles, when his youthful morn hath travailed unto age's steepy night, and all those beauties whereof now he's king are vanishing, or vanished out of sight. Stealing away the treasure of his spring, for such a time do I now fortify against confounding age's cruel knife, that he shall never cut from memory my sweet love's beauty, though my lover's life. His beauty shall in these black lines be seen, and they shall live, and he in them still green.
All right, coming to the podium now, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 64 by Charlotte Preuss.
When I have seen by time's fell hand defaced the rich proud cost of outworn buried age, when sometime lofty towers I see down raised, and brass eternal slave to mortal rage, when I have seen the hungry ocean gain advantage on the kingdom of the shore, and the firm soil win of the watery main, increasing store with loss, and loss with store, when I've seen such interchange of state, or state itself confounded to decay, ruin hath taught me thus to ruminate, the time will come and take my love away. This thought is as a death which cannot choose, but weep to have that which it fears to lose.
All right, we seem to have a Charlotte fan club over here. All right, coming to the podium next, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 65, performed by Mallory Wilson.
Since brass, nor stone, nor earth, nor boundless sea, but sad mortality o'ersways their power, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea, whose action is no stronger than a flower? Oh, how shall summer's honeyed breath hold out against the wrackful siege of battering days, when rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong, but time decays? O fearful meditation, where alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid, or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? Or who his spoiler beauty can forbid? Oh, none, unless this miracle have might, that in black ink my love may shine bright.
All right, thank you very much, Mallory. Up next, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 66 by Madison Rousseau.
Tired with all these, for restful death I cry. As we behold desert, a beggar born, and needing nothing, trimmed in jollity, and purest faith unhappily forsworn, in gilded honor shamefully misplaced, and maiden virtue rudely strumpeted, and right perfection wrongfully disgraced. And strength by limping sway disabled, and art made tongue-tied by authority, and folly doctor-like controlling skill, and simple truth miscalled simplicity. And captive good attending captain ill. Tired with all these, from these would I be gone. Save that to die, I leave my love alone.
All right, thank you very much. Coming to the podium now, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 67, performed by Isabel Johnson.
Wherefore with infection should he live, and with his presence, grace, and piety, that sin by him advantage should achieve, and lace itself with his society. Why should false painting imitate his cheek, and steal that seeing of his living hue? Why should poor beauty indirectly seek roses of shadow, since his rose is true? Why should he live, now nature bankrupt is, beguard of blood the blush through lively veins? For she hath no exchequer now but his, and proud of many lives upon his gains. O him she stores, the show at wealth she had, and days long since, before these last, so bad.
All right, thank you very much, Isabel. We now have another interlude performance by our very own Woodward Academy String Machine, as they will be performing their rendition of Radioactive.
Radioactive. Yeah. Go ahead. Play music. Bring a helmet. Helmet. What? Helmet. How fast I drove on the highway.
I thought this class started at 11:11.
Yeah, why don't you figure it out the room like everyone else?
That's mine.
Oh, Dick. There it is. You just want to wing it, Nick?
Which one? Yeah, he can sit behind me.
All right. Thank you very much, Woodward Academy String Machine. As you can tell, they did both Let It Go and Radioactive. And String Machine, I know this is kind of impromptu, but we'll have some time at the end of the next few readings. If you have a third song you want to perform, don't go anywhere. Get ready for that one, and we'll have you do another interlude after the end of Sonnet number 74. All right. Now, up next to the sonnet stage, we have the reading of Shakespearean Sonnet number 68 by Mr. Matthew Clopton.
Thus in his cheek the map of days outworn, when beauty lived and died as flowers do now, before the bastard signs of fair were born, or durst inhabit on a living brow. Before the golden tresses of the dead, the rite of sepulchres were shown away, to live a second life on second head, ere's beauty's dead fleece made another gay. In him those holy antique hours are seen, without all ornaments itself and true, making no summer of another's green, robbing no old to dress his beauty new. In him as for a map doth nature store, to show false art what beauty was of yore. LBC.
All right, up next to the sonnet stage, we have the reading of sonnet number 69 by Helen Taylor and Sean Gramlich. Okay. Since Helen Taylor, near Sean Gramlich are here, we're going to have reading number 69 read by, once again, Mr. Matthew Clopton. Come back up. Bobby, you do it? Go ahead. Go ahead and do it. Okay, send me the
Hey, I'm Bob. All right. The parts of thee that the world's eye doth view want nothing that the thoughts of heart can mend. All tongues give thee that due, uttering bare truth, even so far as foes commend. The outward thus with outward praises crown, but those same tongues that give thee so thine own. And other accents do this praise confound by seeing farther than the eye have shown. They look into the beauty of thy mind, and that in guess the measures by thy deeds. Then their thoughts, although their eyes were kind, to thine fair flower add the rank smell of weeds. But why thus odor maketh not thy show? The solve is this, that thou dost come and grow.
All right, impromptu Shakespeare, all right? That was actually Bobby Kennedy doing number 69. Up next, we have Shakespeare sonnet number 70. Subbing for Caroline Coffey and Callan Inman will be Matthew Clopton.
That thou art blamed shall not be thy defect, for slanders march wherever yet the fair. The ornament of beauty is suspect, a crow that flies in heaven's sweetest air. So thou be good, slander doth but approve, thy worth the greater being wooed of time. For canker vice the sweetest buds doth love, and thou present a pure, unstained prime. Thou hast passed by the ambush of young days, either not assailed or victor being charged. Yet this thy praise cannot be so thy praise, to tie up envy evermore the enlarged. If some suspect of ill mask not thy show, then thou alone kingdoms of heart shouldest owe.
All right, performing sonnet number 71, it says Virginia Parson in Spanish. Miss Virginia Parson doesn't seem to be here, so it'll be, I'll do 71 in English. All right. No longer mourn for me when I am dead. Then you shall hear the surly sullen bell. Give warning to the world that I have fled from this vile world with vilest worms to dwell. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the hand that write it. For I love you so that I am in your sweet thoughts would be forgot. If thinking on me then should make you woe, oh, if, I say, you look upon this verse, when I perhaps compounded am with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love even with my life decay. Lest the wise world should look into your moan and mock you with me after I am gone. Reading sonnet number 72, we have back up once again Mr. Bobby Kennedy.
Hi. Oh, lest the world should task you to recite what merit lived in me that you should love. After my death, dear love, forget me quite. For you and me can nothing worth prove, unless you would devise some virtuous lie, to do more for me than mine own desert, and hang more praise upon deceased I, than niggard truth would willingly impart. Unless your true love may seem false in this, that you for love speak well in me and true. My name be buried where my body is, and live no more to shame, nor me, nor you. For I am shamed by you that which I bring forth, and so should you, to love's nothing worth.
All right, up next we have the reading of Shakespearean sonnet number 73 by Gobind Kala.
That time of year thou mightst be in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those bots which shake against the cold, bare ruined choirs. Where late the sweet bird sang, in me thou seest the twilight of such day. As after sunset fadeth in the west, by which by and by black night doth take away. Death's second self, that seals up all the rest, in me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to that well which thou must leave ere long.
All right, coming to the Shakespeare sonnet stage, we have up next reading Shakespearean sonnet number 74. We have Mr. T. Schmidt.
But be contented when all that fell arrest, without all bale shall carry me away. My life hath in this line some interest, for which memorial still with thee shall stay. When thou reviewest this, thou dost review. The very part was consecrate to thee. The earth can have but earth, which is his due. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So then thou hast but lost the dregs of life. The prey of worms, my body being dead. The coward conquest of a wretch's knife. To base of thee to be remembered. The worth of that is that which it contains, and that is this, and this with thee remains.
Okay, we have a little bit of a change in the program, more impromptu guerrilla Shakespeare for you on this beautiful, glorious April 23rd, the 450th birthday of William Shakespeare. Ordinarily, we would have read sonnet number 75, but due to Mr. Merrill's schedule, we will hold him over to the beginning of fourth period. All right, so instead, Woodward Academy's own string machine has agreed to play another impromptu interlude for us, where they'll be performing Secrets. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, and especially Woodward Academy's very own string machine. Thank you very much for doing playing the interludes for us, even the impromptu one for secrets. We have 30 more seconds before the bell rings for the end of third period. This concludes Shakespearean Sonnet Slam / Festival 2014. Thank you very much for attending, everybody.